All righty. Hello, hello, hello. It's been a few days. This is Mrs. P. This is Mrs. P coming back with Digging Deep. Okay, we have to talk about it. We have to talk about it. Back to school, back to school. I am seeing on the news um, about the shortage of bus drivers, the shortage of teachers. Okay, so that means people are not applying for these jobs. Okay, and teachers are quitting. I have a couple of things to say about it that some people may agree and some people may not. But remember, this is Mrs. P digging deep, and I do reality. Okay, let's talk about the teachers. The teachers, our teachers teach our children. Then they go to college and they get these degrees and they become doctors, lawyers, and all the things out here we need so that they can take care of themselves and get paid good. Our children. But about our teachers? We don't want to pay our teachers nothing to be responsible for our kids to get to that kind of income. Wow, that's deep right there to me. And just remember, these are the people that's keeping our kids so that they can get paid good. What about paying them? Secondly, we got teachers that are quitting. Why are they quitting? Why? It's getting hard out here. These teachers are being more than teachers. They already don't get paid enough, but let's just think about it. They have to come to school or to work and deal with our children. Our children been hurting for a while, but now it's really showing. So now the teacher has to come to school to work to teach our children, okay? And they got attitude problems, they have mental illness, they have behavioral problems. Then, when they do try to correct them, and mind you, they're teachers, so they're not counselors, okay? They're not babysitters, okay? Um, they're scared for their life. So when something go wrong and the teacher tries to correct it, who gets in trouble? The teacher, okay? Then we get the parents want to come up here and we want to beat them up, cuss them out. Mm. Come on, work with me here. What I'm trying to say. These are our children. So the teachers are overworked, underpaid, disrespected, abused, and some. And what they're paying them, they can go out and get another job somewhere else. So they're quitting. They're quitting. They're not coming in. You can't get quality. Our kids. Our kids. Let's talk about the bus. The shortage of bus drivers. That means they're not applying. That means they're quitting. That means they're retiring. Why? Our kids. Okay? So they driving. You put your kid on the bus and you go to work or you go back home. I don't know. But on that bus, that driver has responsibility for all the kids. The kids are jumping up and down, hollering, screaming, hanging out the window, cussing, fighting, then being disrespectful to the bus driver. Really? These are our kids. Then, first and second, the first week or period. When things go wrong, bus is not on time, okay? Because that's what? They don't have any drivers, okay? So the people that are there and the school system can only do but so much. If they go out for the interview, they get the job, you put them on the job. But what happens when you can't get no one? You're going to have late buses, okay? So there you go. To take care of who? Our kids. Then we get on the news and say they're not doing their job at school. They should have did this. I mean, it's not right. What did a lady say this week on the news? I had to leave my job and come and get him. Or I had to be late for work because I had to take them to school. These are your kids. They ain't theirs. These people show up, they get the rump of it all. So I just need for us parents to understand what's going on. Let's stop complaining. These are our kids. If there's no bus drivers and they got to be 2 hours late because they had to do 2 other routes, yep, that means you may have to be late for work. That means you may have to leave your job because they are your kids. What they say? She said, inconvenient. Yes, it is. But they're your kids. They're your kids. So why can't you be inconvenienced for your kids? We want to get on and complain, but these are your kids. I know I done it 3 times, and I'm going to tell you something. I was inconvenienced a lot of times. A lot of times I had to leave my job because my boys were a handful. They were not disrespectful, but those behaviors were a mess. And if I didn't stay my behind up there and support my teachers in school, guess what? My boys could have been kicked out. So about inconvenience, it's okay. It's your child. You get up and you do what you got to do. Do your part. Let's stop bashing and try to leave the school system to do everything. We're going to raise them, burp them, babysit them, take up for them. They don't get paid for that. And as parents, we got to be aware of that. So when our teachers are quitting because our kids are disrespectful, and they are. Oh, they are. And our parents are coming up there and want to fight and cuss the teacher out, that's a problem too. Check your child. It starts at home. They don't just come out like that. They do not just come out like that. And I am so sorry, sisters and parents. If it's you, this is for you. If it's not, then you know what I'm talking about. But you have to be accountable too. And we cannot beat the world up about our kids because we chose to have them. And when there's problems as a parent, you need to seek out the help to get it. And if it's you because of what you're trying to do and your kid is seeing it, and if you got problems and you cussing your kid out and busting them upside their head, well, guess what? They going to school, cussing the teachers out and busting the other kids upside the head. It's a cycle. My thing is this. Things happen. But if you know you're not ready to dig down deep and raise those kids, don't have them. Figure it out. You're figuring everything else out. And I'm sorry. This message may not sound good, but I try to keep it real. No one wants to be accountable for our kids. No. You got to stand and stand tall for your kid. And that means if you see behaviors and you know what your lifestyle is like, not me. Kids are picking up. Kids do what they see, not what they say. You can say don't do it, it ain't right, but if they see it, they doing it. It's just how it is. So before we start telling the government and the school system it's a shame, and it is a shame. It is a shame. But it's our kids. So that means sometimes you might need to volunteer. Don't say you got to work. We all have to work. We all have to work. Simple as that. But they need help. So let's not get on here and bash them and, oh, it's an inconvenience for me. I had to leave my job, y'all. Y'all. That's what you do when you have kids. They're your kids. These people are strapped. They are strapped. They can only do what they can do. And if we just take and look at the whole picture and step up and do a little bit more, own up to ours, maybe it won't be so bad. Okay? Maybe it won't be so bad. So, this is Mrs. P. Never here to offend anyone, but I am here to keep it real, digging deep. All right, enjoy the holiday weekend.